Feature story news in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. US President Donald Trump and German Chancellor Angela Merkel have disagreed publicly again, this time at a NATO summit in Brussels. A German woman's received a life sentence for her involvement in a neo-Nazi gang which committed 10 murders over 7 years, mostly of foreigners. Mumbai's experienced its wettest day in July for 4 years as monsoon rains continued to lash the city, and England play Croatia later in the second World Cup semi-final in Russia, the winner facing France on Sunday.
It's 9:01.
Community Conversations is brought to you by Arkansas Early Learning, offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Happy Wednesday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to your day. You tuned in to Community Conversation on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Kabila Jones, and I've been on for a couple days, but I'm happy to be back. And I want to say that today is my 2-year anniversary of hosting Community Conversations. I thank Leganzi and the community of Jonesboro for supporting us throughout this whole journey. It's been a wonderful ride. I'm looking forward to so much more. So without further ado, I'm going to get into my special guests today, which are Ms. Brandi Hodges and Ms. Kristy Gates from the Craig County Jonesboro Public Library. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. And as you all know, Brandi and Ms. Kristy have been guests here before, and I really love when they come. They have so many exciting things to talk about that's going on at the library. So since there's quite a bit, we're just going to get right into it today. So what's going on first, ladies?
So today is our off-site program day. It's an event that we have once a week throughout June and July, where we take the library programming away from the library. Okay. We just go to Parker Park Community Center, which is located on North Church Street, and we go to the mall at Turtle Creek, right there on Highland. So at 10 o'clock this morning, so it's just after 9 o'clock. You still have time if you're just now hearing us and want to get up and get the kids around or the grandkids around or yourself around, and head over to the Parker Park Community Center. Bob Tarter with the Natural History Educational Company of the Mid-South. It's a company that Bob is a biologist, and it's a company that focuses on educating kids and their families about animals that they may not otherwise get the opportunity to see. He has a rabbit now that's part of his show. I don't tell Lola Faye, but that show went to our branch libraries. The one that he will have today here is called Echoes and Howls, and it's sounds the animals make. So he has a new addition to his wildlife family. He has a baby red fox that will be there today, as well as a bullfrog and some prairie dogs, and he also will be bringing a Harris hawk and some other animals. So if you want to see these awesome animals, including that little precious baby red fox that I'm excited about, you can't tell, that is today at 10 o'clock, this morning at Parker Park Community Center, this afternoon at 2 o'clock at the mall at Turtle Creek. So if you're at the mall and you're like, this is a big place, I wonder where it is, we are going to be near Center Court, across the hallway from where the children's place clothing store is.
Okay. All right, so now with these animals, are any of them native to Arkansas?
Sometimes they are, and if they are, he points that out. So he tells, I tell you, I have seen the same animals from him sometimes, and I leave with knowledge I didn't have before I went.
Wow. So this is not just for the kids, the adults can enjoy.
It's so much fun.
As well. Now, do the kids ever get to interact with the animals?
Well, what he does is he makes aisles all around the kids, and he carries, sometimes walks depending on the animal, carries the animal around so all the kids get to see the animal.
At least see it up close and personal. Wow.
There's not touching usually involved with the animals, because some of them could be more not that the animal would hurt the child, but that they could be could get a disease from being messed with too much.
Okay.
Not the child, again, the animal.
Yeah. You have to be very
He
protective
talks often that his prairie dogs are very susceptible to getting sick, and so the prairie dogs in general.
Oh, wow.
And so he's always like, nobody gets to touch them,
And they're like little bitty.
They're so cute. Oh my goodness. And they don't look anything like a dog to me, which I didn't know. I'd never seen a prairie dog before. But that's our offsite program this week. Next week, we've got Stephen Cox of Super Science, who makes science fun and exciting. So he's going to do live experiments, which last year it was a lot of fun. He mixed like 2 different things, and this foam just kind of shot up out of this cup. It was so amazing.
What is that and how? I know there's a lot of chemicals involved.
Come to Super Science. So he's going to do physical reactions and lots of different things. And then our last event will be the Kinders. That's our finale in concert. 3 weeks left in summer, y'all.
3 weeks.
Hard to believe.
Wait a minute. And then it's going to be almost time for school to start back again. Wow. Okay, so today, again, Parker Park. Let me find the time. What time is that again?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. So right after Community Conversations, take the kids on over to Parker Park and enjoy the show. And then at the mall at
2 o'clock. Same show. So if you can't make it this morning, a lot of families, nap times is a big reason they can't come to something. So we do 2 shows. It's exact same show.
Okay. Now, how did some of the adults react? Have you ever been to an event in the mall when they've had something kind of wild? And how do other people react in the mall? So
it's really fun to watch the reactions of people who are just walking by and a kangaroo hops by.
Exactly.
They're like,
in the mall at Jonesboro?
What's going on there? So it's always interesting. Like, we had a magic show for our first performance this year, and you had people stop and kind of watch the show from the hallway.
Wow.
Because the room is packed. So also, the show starts at 2 at the mall. It starts at 2, but you can show up, 1:40, 1:45.
Okay.
We always encourage parents, let your kids sit on the floor in the front.
Okay.
They'll have a better opportunity to see, and let us reserve the seats in the back for adults to sit in. And if you want to get a good seat, get there early.
Get there early. All right, so again, that's today, the Natural History Education Company of the Mid-South, Live Animals with Bob Tarter, Parker Park at 10, Indian Mall, the Mall at Turtle Creek.
Hey, we said it for so many years.
The Mall at Turtle Creek at 2 o'clock. All right, so let's go on to what else is going on.
So I want to remind everyone, I did say 3 weeks. Being that there are 3 weeks of summer programming left, that also means there are only 3 weeks left for kids, adults, teens to finish their summer reading club challenge. So I don't know if you can see this t-shirt that I have on. It says Ida the Hedgehog Rocks. Ida is our hedgehog who lives in the children's library. Kids who complete the challenge, it's like they have to earn so many points, but attending events, if you attend events and then log your points online using our Beanstack app, those points count towards your finishing. So reading, there's lots of different things you can do to earn those points, and you have 3 weeks to finish, and by the 7 p.m. on the 31st is the last day to finish and collect your prizes.
Okay. Now what about for those individuals that don't have access to, say, we think everyone does have access to the internet, mobile device. Can they write down what they've done and bring it to the library?
They can, but they still have to do it online. But we have free Wi-Fi throughout our building. We have public access computers in children's, teen, and adult areas. So anyone who, needs to log their points with us can do it for free.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
So no excuses at all not to get the not challenge.
Yes, it is. It's a summer reading club challenge to get those points. And, so many people have phones, and maybe you don't have a computer and Wi-Fi at home, but, you have a phone that may have internet access. There's a Beanstack app you can download and do it from your phone.
All right, so there are all types of ways to get it done. So let's get these kids reading. Adults, let's get reading. Unfortunately, I have to read for class, so I don't leave much time for extra.
That's why audiobooks are my best friends. I love them. But we have school age events. Today is Wednesday, so tomorrow we'll have Thursday's Rock.
Okay.
We do Tuesdays, Thursday's Roll.
Thursday.
Tuesday's
Okay.
Rock
Yes,
and Thursday's
that's it.
Roll. And then tomorrow at 5:30 we'll have Move and Groove, which is a music and movement event we have every Thursday at 5:30. So lots of activities for the kids, things that they can attend and earn those points to log their progress. We also have events for tweens. So this week we're going to be doing a scavenger hunt. So kids will get to, it says explore the dark recesses of the public library, which they'll be doing it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So there's not that many dark recesses at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Typically not.
And then it was still in the summer, we've got tie-dye and magnetic poetry. So
Magnetic poetry.
tie-dye is, if you want to, your tween, which is those who have finished 4th through 6th grade,
4th or 6th.
you want them to participate, they will need to bring something white to tie-dye.
Okay.
So socks, a pillowcase, a t-shirt.
Anything. I need to sneak in on this class.
And then magnetic poetry, I don't know if you guys have seen where you just can get words, different words that are magnets. And so kids will get to pick words that are magnets out of like a bucket or a bowl or something, and then create their own sentences to make magnetic poetry. And speaking of poetry, we have blackout poetry today for teens. So those are those who have finished the 7th through 12th grades. So that's where you take a piece of magazine or a page out of a book that's a book that has been discarded, that is not one that is in the library. Please don't black out things
don't do that.
that are in the library. A magazine or a newspaper or a discarded book page, and you take it and you say whatever you want to word speak out of this one. We would just black out
Make
the
your
rest
own
of
poem.
it, and you make your own poem.
I ran across some posts on Instagram. I'm always scrolling Instagram. Instagram is my Pinterest in a way.
I love Instagram.
And so I'm always looking for ideas. So I ran across, some blackout poetry. And then people get really creative. They also draw pictures
Yeah.
within the pages, and they use the blacked out part as the additional artwork as well. I don't know. Some people are very creative on how they come up with their, piece. And then you see the words, and it looks like they're just random words, but if you read them in order, it makes a statement. And it could be just one line, 5 or 7 words. Nothing super, nothing major. So
it's just something another way, and I know you're a poet as well, so it's a great way to encourage kids to do poetry.
yes,
To be interested in poetry.
For me, I used to think, a poem has to be so long to really say something, but sometimes one line can be just as powerful as 100.
One of my favorite poems is by Emily Dickinson, and it's 2 sentences.
Wow.
And it's just wonderful. I'll tell it to you later. But for teens coming up, we have Friday, we're going to do shibori dyeing, which I'm really excited about because tie-dye, when we think of tie-dye, it's multicolor.
Yeah.
And shibori is one color. It's just a different way of tying and twisting your garment or whatever it is you're using. So again, teens who want to do that, bring something white that you can dye. But that sounds really fun. Left over, still happening this summer. We've got string art graffiti. We have my phone ringing. We have lip sync for your life and the YA lock-in. Now, the YA lock-in is by invitation only. So teens who have actively participated in summer are the ones eligible to be invited to be a part of that.
Okay. All right. So I want to ask, I know this is kind of a sideways question. And for those of you who can't see, Brandi is knitting while she's talking. And
I can't help it.
I would have poked all of my fingers by now. But anyway, I had someone ask me about, do I know anyone who knits? They were looking for someone to help out on a project, making either baby items or hats or it's something for kids. So
Yeah.
with your class, with the classes that are done at the library, the library offers so many free classes.
We talk a lot about the things we do in summer, but we do things year round. So knitting is, and I have my knitting, is offered a year-round program. So we meet every Thursday at noon.
Okay.
So anyone who is interested in attending and learning how to knit, the library provides a small ball of yarn, not enough to accomplish anything with, but enough to just let you practice.
Okay.
We provide a pair of needles, and it's free instruction.
Okay.
So anyone who's interested, I will be there tomorrow at noon.
Okay.
To teach that class, and Miss Bianca, my co-teacher, is there as well. Sometimes one of us is there, sometimes both of us there, and sometimes it just works out that neither one of us can be there. But there are always ladies there who knit, who volunteer to and can help show you something.
Okay.
But they are also a group of ladies who, again, they're not library employees. They're just people who go there to knit as a group. So anyone out there who knits or crochets or does any sort of handicraft that just wants to have other people around them while they do it, come to the library around 5 o'clock every Monday, pretty much.
Okay.
There's a group of ladies that meet back in our William Shakespeare room, which is one of our new rooms at the library. So... And then we're there every Thursday. So we also offer free exercise programs.
Yes.
So right now in the summer through the end of July, you can take Zumba on Monday nights at 5:30.
Okay.
But starting back in August, we moved to Thursday nights for that program. So right now, Mondays, but starting August, it'll be Thursdays.
Okay.
We have Mind and Body with Eastern Liberty on Tuesdays at 5:30, which sometimes they do... yoga, sometimes they do gyrokinesis, and sometimes they do Pilates. So they take different sections of the year to do different things in that class, and that one's all about bending and stretching and centering yourself. And I like going to that because they say let go of your problems, and I try my best. And then yoga is a half-hour class offered at 12:15 every Thursday. So there's plenty of opportunities to take a free class at the library.
And it's like total mind, body, and soul type thing, an experience.
And we also, in the summer, we're offering bingo every Wednesday. But throughout the year, we offer it once a month. So, but every Wednesday. So today, if you're not in the mindset to go see live animals at 10, come to bingo.
Come to bingo.
And that'll be held at the library in the Round Room.
Right.
Speaking of adult events, we have some adult events coming up this week. Tomorrow, we're going to have, if you look at our calendar, you'll see that painting is tonight, but that class is full. We will offer another one, usually every quarter.
Every quarter. It's definitely sometime in the fall.
In the fall, okay.
And that's always very popular. So when you hear Kristy or I talk about painting, or you see it on a calendar and you're interested in it, call as soon as you see it to get on that list, because they only have so many spaces.
And then you get to listen to music and fellowship with other people. You get to know the people that live in the same community as you. So
And people who share your interests.
Oh, yeah.
This is a wonderful experience to get out of the house. And I want to add, with some of your programs, like for the adults, they end at 7 o'clock. I just found out that the jet bus now runs till 7:30 versus 6:30. So for those that utilize the public transportation, you have still no excuse not to go to some of these events. I was too excited yesterday when I found out they run an hour later. So
I like for you to be too excited. So we have a jam session this Thursday. So from 6 to 7, our theme this year is Libraries Rock. So we're going to have be able to rock out with instruments. So we've got some ukuleles, and I'm not sure what else they have going on, but it's just going to be a jam session. And then we'll have a karaoke, just to keep the music theme. We'll do karaoke where you can just sing to your heart's content later in the month on the 26th.
I don't sing, but I will come and support anyone.
That's how I feel. You don't want me singing. You don't want me singing. But so this week we've got the jam session, and then next week we've got a program called Natural Dyes, and that is where it's really, when you think about it, the way historically, before there were synthetic dyes, people had to, if they wanted their clothing to have a different color, they had to figure it out themselves.
Right.
Yes.
Whether they mashed berries or, picked herbs and mashed them and cooked them down to get that color, we are going to use natural dyes and teach people how you can do it at home.
That's awesome.
So that will be held next week. And then the event Kristy and I are here to talk about is genealogy night.
Yeah, so we're going to come up on our first break here in a minute or so. So I don't want to get
too deep
into genealogy before we run out of time. But we can go over some of these other...
yes.
There's... if you receive your brochure in the mail, which everyone should have,
yes.
There are categories: family, school-age kids, tweens, teens, adults, and they list, what grade. It listed by grade versus age, which I think...
Well, because kids can be different ages when they start school, and so we like to keep it. And a program I forgot about, and we can talk more about, Rob Holiday's Balloons. We're going to have that on Thursday, tomorrow, at 2 o'clock there at the library in the Round Room. This is a one-off program. It's what we're just doing it that one time.
Okay.
And... I mean, who doesn't love balloons?
Okay.
So it's this awesome guy, Rob Holiday, who does balloon art, and so he's just I've never seen him before, so we've never had him before, but it's gonna be exciting.
Okay.
So if the main thing I like to remind people is, did you know that it's July and it's hot outside? And you're looking for something fun to do. The kids are bored.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the afternoon.
Especially about this time of the year.
Yeah, they're kind of like they've done everything they can think of inside. They're getting bored. They read their book in the morning, or maybe they like to read in the evening. It's the middle of the afternoon where it's the hottest time of day. Bring them to the library. We've got balloons. I mean, come on.
And then on top of that, there's audiobooks, there's CD, there's movies,
magazine, all sorts of things.
Kids will laugh when we talk about CDs, but anyway, you can download music, so there's so much.
Endless possibilities.
Yes. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Trying to figure out what to give Dad for Father's Day? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. As a dad, I can tell you that the best and most meaningful gifts I've ever gotten from my kids weren't bought in a store. They were given from the heart. So here are some meaningful, heartfelt Father's Day gift ideas. First, give the gift of respect. Make a top 10 list of reasons why you respect him. Second, give the gift of time. Create 4 cards with 4 things that you want to do with your dad in the next 4 weeks, and then present them to him on Father's Day. For more gift ideas for your dad that will really make him feel special, visit my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
For more resources on today's topic, go to markmerrill.com. The Family Minute with Mark Merrill, keeping you relationally fit, 1 minute at a time.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
KLEK is conducting a listener survey that will allow for you to give feedback on the station. The information from responses to the survey will allow us to make KLEK a better radio station for you. The survey is on our website, www.klekfm.org, or if you need a paper copy, you can call the station on our business line, 870-203-9915. We ask that as many listeners as possible fill out the survey so that we may have the best possible feedback to continue to educate, entertain, and empower you and be your radio station. As a token of our appreciation, one lucky person who completes the survey will win $102.50. You must submit your email on the survey in order to qualify to win. The winner will be drawn August 1st. Also, each week in July, a winner will be drawn to win his or her choice of a KLEK coffee mug or hat. Again, the KLEK listener survey is on our website, www.klekfm.org. KLEK thanks everyone for their support.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
KLEK 102.5 FM is giving you more praise. That's right, KLEK brings to you All Gospel Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, enjoy all of your favorite gospel hits and get your praise on all day long. Plus, the return of the KLEK Praise Break. Lift up your hands, rejoice, and praise Him all day, all Wednesday, every Wednesday on KLEK 102.5 FM.
House of Details, located at 3217 Herb Street, Suite C, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle: waxing, clear coat protection, basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more. With a motto of, anything mean, we can clean. Details available via Quentin Bogard at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and houseofdetailsjonesboro.com.
This portion of KLEK programming can be made possible by your business. Your support will help in educating, entertaining, and empowering the community by supporting local talent, serving the community you love, and providing information on issues you care about from a different perspective. Call 870-203-9951 or visit klekfm.org to learn how we can help connect you more with the community, or visit us at 1411 Franklin Street. KLEK 102.5 Jonesboro, educating, entertaining, and empowering the community.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. My special guests today are Ms. Brandi Hodges and Ms. Kristy Gates from the Craighead County Jonesboro Public Library. The first part of the show, we went over some wonderful events that are happening this summer. You have the rest of this month, and I don't see any August dates. So there are no August. So due to the end of July, there's quite a few things going on for the tweens, teens, adults, school-age kids, and the whole family. So you can't say you don't have anything to do. There's something to do at the library. All right, so now we're going to get into another fun event that a lot of people really seem to enjoy, and it's been very beneficial for some that are really trying to figure out who is in their family tree, who's on their family tree, or in, or however you want to say that. But genealogy night is coming up, so let's talk about when and where and, what all good stuff people can expect.
Well, Genealogy Night is July 21st, which is a week from Saturday, from 6 p.m. till midnight. Okay. And we'll have local genealogists on hand to help answer questions. And we also, for the first time, we are going to have beginners genealogy sessions on the hour, like at 6, 7, 8, and 9. And anyone who's new, who has never done genealogy but is very interested in it, can take these 30-minute sessions to help them get started. Well, like I said, we'll have a local genealogist who's been doing this for years that will help teach the classes and help them to show how to get started with genealogy.
Usually you all have a speaker, a keynote speaker or something. So who do you have lined up for this year or for this event?
Sorry guys. Our speaker is let me make sure I get her name correctly. It is Jennifer Simpson, and she's with the Department of Human Services, and she's going to be speaking about adoption records, how to research them, access them through the DCHS. What she says is that each licensed adoption agency in Arkansas is allowed by law to establish an adoption registry. So this is a way, if you have any adoptions in your family or you've been adopted yourself, you can learn how to search these records and also, further your research in genealogy area.
That is really wonderful.
Because those who have been adopted, a lot of times, you don't know who your, birth parents were, much less who your grandparents.
And this is very helpful. Say there's a health issue.
Right.
You really need to know what's in your bloodline so that you can be more prepared. Or say you get diagnosed with something, if for no other reason alone, for health purposes, it's good to know where you come from if you are adopted, so that you know what you're facing and you know how to handle it down the line.
And genealogy research is something that is becoming more and more prevalent in our society. You see the commercials all the time for the
Ancestry and DNA kits and everything.
All of those things where you can test your saliva and send it off and see what your makeup is. Okay. What countries your bloodline comes from. But that that tells you that part, but it doesn't tell you who your great-great-grandparent was.
Yes.
So that they go hand in hand.
Okay.
But, there's a show, and I'm obsessed with it, called Who Do You Think You Are? Oh. And we have seasons of it that if you like to watch DVDs, which I do, you can check out seasons of this show at the library with your library card. But it's where celebrities, they help them trace their history, and it's really cool the things you find out. And so many of us have been told all our lives, oh, well, you have this kind of heritage, or you have this, or we have I know I have Confederate soldiers in my bloodline. As I'm researching, I'll stumble across this person that had these letters behind their name, and I didn't know what that meant, and so I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, well, they were a Confederate soldier. But that's the part of the country that we live in, but it's interesting to see in doing so you have so many different roads you can go down, because you can search paternal grandparents, maternal grandparents on both sides, and so I've barely scratched the surface, and I've done so much. So it's interesting to see the things you can find. Ancestry is a website that you can have a personal subscription to. However, if you don't want to, or you've never done the research before, or maybe it's too expensive that you don't want to pay for that every month, come to the library where you can use Ancestry for free year-round.
That is awesome. And so for everyone out there that's interested to know more about your bloodline, this is also beneficial. We kind of see that with the younger generations, they have no clue as to maybe where their family originated from, who was in their family.
Some of those names, that's what always gets me.
And then you find out years later, oh, I'm related to this person, but your grandmother or whoever never told you anything about your family, so you have no clue. So I would just say for those in the 30 and under age bracket, they really need to take part in this and along with their family, so that they can really get a bigger picture of who they are and who their whole family.
So something that's important to know before you come is that the last census that is available, that we can access, that will have information, is 1940. Okay. So you have to come with the knowledge of someone that you can start searching for that would have been alive before 1940 or in 1940. They would have had to be born in 1940 and made it on the census. Other than that, before 1940. So Kristy brought some sheets with us, and also if you go to our Facebook page, our website, libraryinjonesboro.org/events, look for Summer Genealogy Night Lock-In. On that page, not only will it tell you about the event, but you can pre-register for the event. Pre-registering for the event is not required. However, it helps us out.
And it gets us a good number of how many people are going to be there, and you can kind of get through the line a little bit faster too at the start, but
it helps to pre-register.
And also on that website, we have a blank family tree. So anyone who would like
angle it down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not.
Because the light is would it be in white paper and the light kind of angle the paper?
But this paper is on our website.
Okay.
So anyone who
know
wants
that's
to attend the event, again, this is not something that you have to do. But if you want to get started, because I know I'm that type of person that if you walk up to me and ask, what's your great-great-grandmother's name? I will know it, but I won't be able to tell you. I won't be able to think of it when I need to think of it. So if you could go ahead and like print one of these out, or stop by the library. I mean, I could put some at the
we have several available at the help or information desk. Just ask up there.
So you can get started. You start with yourself, and then you write your parents' name and your grandparents' name and your great grandparents' name. You know, get your mom or dad, or if you have a grandparent who you can speak with, get them to help you with those names, and just make sure you have someone that you can search for that was born before 1940, and then we can get you going.
You know, I was just thinking as you were talking, when you said talk to your grandparents, some people may even have a great grandparent still alive.
They may.
It's time to start not letting this history die. Definitely. And let's start doing some living history records. Do some video, audio recording.
Exactly. Yeah.
Put together a compilation of something and make it as a gift to someone.
These stories, once we lose these individuals, we lose their stories if we don't do something about it. My great-grandfather he was born in 1900. He lived with us. And he died at 93, which my brother and I always thought was so cool, because when it was 1990, he was 90. You know, that was just, you know, of course now the kids that were born in 2000, you know, they turn with a year, but it was just so different. I'd never met someone who was the age of the year. So he used to tell us all sorts of stories, because, you know, he was in the Great Depression. You know, he was a young adult with a family. So it's so interesting, but you know, I was only like 10, 12 years old. Wow. So that's one, we didn't have the capabilities back then, and two, I wouldn't have ever thought about that. So if you have a living relative like that, who can tell you these stories, do what you can. I mean, most of us, not all of us, but most of us now have these cell phones that we carry around, can't let out of our sight, that have recording capabilities.
Yes. And there's all types of apps. I mean, you'd be surprised what you can do with just a phone, let alone a computer. There's voice audio, there's video recording apps, there's editing apps. There's so many different things you can do just with a mobile phone. So let's put it to use more than just texting and playing games.
Yeah, it's genealogy night. I like to just impress on people that it's not just an event for older people. It's more, we're seeing more and more younger people attend, and I mean, we want all ages. I'm not saying we don't want the older people. You guys come on down.
Yes.
We want everyone, but unless someone takes up the mantle in your family to be the one to do this genealogy research, you're not going to have it for your family.
Yes.
So someone's got to take that on as something, because it is so, I say this, and I've said it before, but it's so interesting. You know, we found during research the original deed where the land was bought from the government, where the government still owned all the land, and people had to individually purchase Arkansas property from the government. We found that original deed in Ancestry.com.
Wow.
You know, where it was sold from U.S. government to my great-great-great-grandfather, Armistead Younger. So,
wow. So the government at one point owned the land of what we now know as Arkansas.
It was the United States.
And so people had to buy plots or whatever.
And it was so inexpensive. You look at those prices on that and you're like, whew. You know, it's for the, you know, prices we're used to paying for even rent.
Yeah.
You know, you could buy property.
What?
So it's just, it's a different time. But it's looking at those different times, seeing the kind of jobs people had, how many kids people had. Looking at some of these census records, suddenly I'll have something pop up where someone that has not been on any of the other census, who has a different last name, two different people pop up. And I said, so I go to our genealogists and I'm like, okay, look, what's going on here? And they said, well, during that time with farming, you would have people come in to help with the farm, and they would just live with the family.
Oh, wow.
And the way they did census, it's whoever lives in the household.
Right.
That's amazing. Okay.
So, I mean, see the things you can learn I mean, it's learning about the way our families lived. Where did they live? Where did they come from? A lot of my family from that one vein, that one branch, if you will, of the tree, is from Virginia. So, I mean, you may have family, there's often you hear someone say, oh, I had Jesse James is my great uncle, or someone who was famous or someone who was infamous.
Okay.
But you don't know what your family history is if you don't try.
Okay. So, Miss Kristy, have you had a chance to really dive into your family tree?
Yeah, most of my family is sharecroppers.
Okay.
But in a similar sense, I also have one. Like I said, most of ours were sharecroppers. On my father's side, I actually have an aunt who has gone all the way back and has done the family research.
Okay.
But like I said, but most of us have came from Tennessee, Mississippi, a lot of times, especially during the Great Depression, most of them were trying to find work.
Okay.
So that's where we kind of have branched off. But like I said, back then you could go and work a plot of land and eventually own it. And that's what a lot of my family did in the beginning. But we're from, like I said, Tennessee, Mississippi, Missouri. Most of my line goes back there. But I have had an opportunity to. What's great is, like I said, we have Ancestry through our databases. We also have FO3, which is kind of military records, which is really interesting. My father was in World War II, and my great uncle was in World War II. He was actually a prisoner taken in by the Japanese, and he was a prisoner and died in one of the prison camps. So how I got more information about that is using the databases and looking up through the military records and seeing how especially my grandfather started out as a private and for some reason suddenly became a lieutenant for some reason because they couldn't find anybody else willing to take on.
Wow.
Which I'm sure that happened a lot.
Yeah. So with this information, and you find that there's a connection to some event in history, does it make you want to do even more research on that event in history to see what role your relative might have played? If their name is mentioned anywhere else in any type of recordings, newspaper clippings, or whatever.
Well, in the library, we have, is it until 1850s? The Jonesboro Sun, we have
the Jonesboro Sun until late 1800s,
1890s.
1890s.
Okay.
We also have what's called the Genealogy News Bank, and you can look up historical newspapers from then about, try to see if your family name's in there or a certain period of history. One of the cool things is if you're looking up an event, you can see the newspaper from that day, like the start of World War II or D-Day or anything like that. That's what's so neat about genealogy and family history, is getting to see history come alive.
Wow. I want to say good morning to everyone that's watching. Say hi, Miss Amanda, Miss Maddie, Maddie Warren. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Go out to the library, get your family together. Maybe make some notes ahead of time on what you already know, which may help make it easier. And stop by the help. Will those forms be at the help desk?
Help information
desk. Get one of those forms that looks like we see the branch. Everything branching out. Or brackets, however you want to call it, and get started learning your family history, sharing it with your children. These make great stories. I don't want to see our future generations lost for lack of knowledge of who they are and where they come from. Okay, going back to the land, maybe if people knew there was land in their family, they may be more willing to hold on to it versus just selling it. Keep it within the family, maybe will it to someone down the line, or just say this land, put something on it. Even if you don't want to live there, see if someone else in the family wants to live there.
And that land is no longer in our family, But it's like you could drive out to it and be like, oh my gosh, this is where they lived. And that's what's also cool about a project we've got ongoing throughout the year at the library. It's called Timeline, where we encourage, you to bring in your old family pictures. We're focusing right now on Craighead County, and it's anything before, is it 1970?
I believe anything before 1970, but you can bring in your old photographs, and we're trying to have a digital pictorial history of the Craighead County area. And it's really neat because you can see older buildings like down on Main Street, what Main Street looked like in the early 1900s. It's rather fascinating, but it's available through our website, and it's called Timeline, and it's just a variety of photos that people have donated. You can also come in with your photos, and we can digitize them, and we can send you home with a jump drive that has your photos on them.
Wow. So not only do you get your photos back, but those photos don't last forever. A lot of our old family photos are crumbling, and so you get that digital copy. And then if you want to take that digital copy and put it on your cloud, so that if that digital copy ever got corrupted, because I know that can happen with I know USB drives have happened to me. So you could put it up on the cloud, and then you'll have those pictures forever. But also, they'll be available through our website.
I want to ask a question. Concerning newspaper clippings. I have a clipping that has my mom in it, and it's very old. I know it's from definitely before I was born. The paper's now yellow and, tattered around the edges, and you can barely read some of the writing of what the event was, but I know who I got it from. I know it was my mom in the picture. Long story short, how can someone research, on the back of the clipping, there's some information about a movie that debuted, and so I contacted the newspaper. I don't even know if the newspaper place even open. Long story short, I've been trying to do some research on how to get even a photocopy of the original. So do you have that? Can people access things like that? Say they have an old clipping, but they want to get maybe a better copy of the original. And
typically, yes, we do. Like Brandi said, we have the Jones. If it's from the Jonesboro Sun or some of the earlier Jonesboro newspapers, we do have those on microfilm back to 1890. So some of those we can make a copy of. We also have. We can also reach out to some of our other libraries through interlibrary loan to see if maybe they have the newspaper available. And we have what's called Newsbank, which has a database full of a variety of newspapers, magazines, and stuff. And we can also research and see if that could be another avenue of finding it.
So maybe I need to start with the library versus the newspaper.
Do you know where the newspaper was from?
In Chicago.
Okay. Well, maybe Newsbank.
Newsbank probably would have it. I would think so, especially for Chicago since it's a bigger city.
Okay.
But like I said, that's usually how we start off with, is trying to see if it's available through Newsbank or one of our other avenues.
All right. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We were talking about genealogy night, and when we come back from our break, we'll make sure to give you the details again on when that is, what time, so that you can write it down, make notes, and get the family together and go do some research. So we'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. Increasing savings and eliminating debt are keys to improving your money matters. But we must also focus on generating income. Here are steps you can take to identify your side hustle opportunities. Sit down with a pen and pad or your laptop or tablet and do a real assessment of your skills, abilities, hobbies, and passions. Include the skills you use in your main job or profession, but go beyond that. What are you good at? What have you excelled at in the past? What are friends and family always asking you to do as a favor to them? Others might pay you to do that. Once you've completed your list, search the terms on the internet and see what kinds of part-time, consulting, freelance, and small businesses come up. These will provide clues to how you can identify side hustle opportunities for yourself. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center, offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com.
Hello, I'm Officer Victoria Evans. I have always had a desire to help others in need and to be an example and role model to young women by encouraging them to never give up on their dreams. My dream was to become a police officer and to serve my community. In 2016, that dream became a reality, and it is the most rewarding experience of my life. Now I want to let you know about the same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing every month for patrol officers. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com or at the Police Department, 1001 South Caraway Road. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information is available at 870-935-5657.
The Black Professionals Network of Jonesboro presents the Community Back to School Bash, Saturday, August 4th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Parker Park Community Center, 1506 North Church Street in Jonesboro. Backpacks and school supplies for kids K-12 will be distributed. There will also be lunch provided, health screenings, and vendor booths. More information, blackprofessionalsnetwork@gmail.com or www.bpnjonesboro.org.
The Epic Center, located at 1899 Hasbrook Road, County Road 333, is Jonesboro's newest venue for entertainment for the entire family. They offer an auditorium with theater-style seating for up to 1,100 guests, a large stage, professional lighting and sound, dressing rooms, concessions, and more. Available for weddings, concerts, pageants, birthday parties, showers, and more. Booking and other information is available at Epic Center Jonesboro on Facebook, epiccenterjonesboro.com, and at 870-530-5841.
Did you know that KLEK 102.5 FM is a non-profit organization? Did you know that you can donate to KLEK 102.5 FM and your donation is tax deductible? Donations to non-profit organizations such as KLEK can reduce the amount of taxes you may owe the IRS or increase the amount of any potential tax refund. Support your KLEK today. You can donate by calling 870-277-1080, visiting our studio at 1411 Franklin Street in Jonesboro, or on our website www.klekfm.org. We at KLEK 102.5 FM are blessed and grateful for your support.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. All right, so we're going to wrap up our conversation with Ms. Brandi Hodges and Ms. Kristy Gates from the Craighead County Jonesboro Public Library. We're going to recap the genealogy night and a few other events that are going on, whatever we can fit in this time frame. So go ahead, ladies.
So today, at 10 a.m. at Parker Park Community Center and 2 p.m. at the Mall at Turtle Creek, we've got the Natural History Educational Company of the Mid-South. What does that mean, you may say? Live animals.
All right.
So if you're looking for something fun to do this morning or this afternoon that involves live animals, I've got the show for you. So that will be happening at 10 and 2. Parker Park Community Center is located on North Church Street. The Mall at Turtle Creek is at 3000 East Highland. And that show will be taking place across the hallway from the Children's Place clothing store.
Okay. So something for everybody to do.
We've got activities tomorrow. Our tween event is going to be a scavenger hunt. Today for teens, we've got blackout poetry at 3. On Friday, we've got shibori dyeing, where teens need to bring something white that they can tie-dye, but not really tie-dye, it's shibori dyeing. We also have string art graffiti coming up next week. For adults, we have a jam session on Thursday at 6. We have natural dyes next week at 6 on the 18th. Lots of events going on for all ages. You can catch everything on our website, which is libraryinjonesboro.org. You can divvy up by branch. Happening at our branches, we've got Rocky Clements and his Show of Wonder.
Okay.
It's a magic show. We have performances on Thursday and on Monday. So check the website. You can divide it up by branch location or by age group. So if you're wanting to search what's happening in Marktree, click Marktree, and you can click adults, teens, or kids. We also have our genealogy night event coming up on the 21st.
Okay. Which is?
This is, the 21st is a Saturday, a week from this coming Saturday. This is a t-shirt. The event is 6 to midnight. So if you stay until midnight, you will get to take home this beautiful t-shirt.
Bring it close.
It's all relative is our theme this year, because when you look at your genealogy, when you're looking at your family, it is all relative. So that is our genealogy t-shirt this year. We will have this event. We do have a volunteer potluck. So if you would like to partake in our potluck that we'll have going on, please bring something you can share.
Okay.
We also encourage you, if you bring a family recipe, bring the recipe with you.
Okay.
And then we can share that recipe with the attendees as well. So lots of fun things going on at the library. 3 weeks left.
Okay.
So if you, your child, you're a teenager, if you're participating in our Summer Reading Club Challenge, which you can still sign up for.
Definitely.
If you're participating, you have 3 weeks left to finish to get your t-shirt, a book to take home, and a book in your name in the library.
All right. We have a comment from Ms. Donna Kirksey. Sorry. She says, good morning, love this. Well, thank you, Ms. Donna. So please make plans to go out to the library. But today, 10 o'clock, Park, or 2 o'clock at the
Mall at Turtle Creek.
And bingo this morning at 10. We have also weekly music trivia that adults can participate in.
Oh, wow.
So there's so much going on at the library. In addition to the things you find on our calendar, we also have our weekly book clubs that are continuing. Wow. We had a book club last night. We have weekly exercise classes. We've got knitting classes. We do something all the time. Even if you just need to work on something, we have computers.
And there's quiet spaces in the library.
Yes.
So, look, you can also download music. How many downloads a month?
5 or 6?
6, I believe.
6 of mine.
A week?
A week. Yeah, a week.
A week.
Yeah, 6 a week.
6 downloads a week from Sony Music.
Anyone who's Sony Music, also 4 ebook or e-audio books at a time.
And then there's mobile apps. Like I have one called Libby.
Yep.
Where you can access it with your library card.
That's to download ebooks or audiobooks.
So there's movies to rent if you want to watch DVDs, something that's older. I kind of want to do an 80s movie.
I do that all the time.
Definitely.
And everything we do is free. So checking out DVDs is free.
Thank
It's
you
all
for
free.
listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed